Well, hello, welcome to Tarot to a T. Today we're going to do a reading for February 2023 for the sign of Gemini. If this is the first time to my channel, welcome, and if you are returning, welcome back, especially if you're a subscriber and a donator to my tip jar. I have a virtual tip jar, as I like to call it. I'll tell you more about that at the end of the video. It's on a website called Buy Me a Coffee, or in my case, a tea. Okay, so we're going to do an open inquiry. What message does Gemini need to hear for the month of February for the year of 2023? What is going on with Gemini? And what advice can Gemini take from this reading today? What bit of advice can Gemini use? Okay. Alright, let's jump right into it, shall we? Four of Spades. Now, it's not a bad way to start. So you're experiencing some kind of stress relief at the moment. Something to do with the home or lifestyle that you are presently living. It's all about stability and things being very secure. But the Four of Spades denotes that you're in a period of stress relief, so that tells me you're coming out of something that was affecting that. Could have been financial, could have been relationship. Five of diamonds. You can see that. It's a Five of Clubs. Five of Clubs. That's an interesting combination with the Four of Spades. This is about things needing to change. I can't distinguish if this change has already happened or it needs to change going forward. It's the card of renovation. It's like things being stagnant and stuck in some way. It's possible that you're on the verge of this change and you're in this period of stress relief. Let's set to keep going and see what we churn up here. Eight of Clubs. Give me just 1 second, please. This is about a choice, more than likely. Like being stuck at a crossroads. It's also the card of being stuck on ideas and outcomes. The stagnancy that I was mentioning with the Five of Clubs, it could be connected to this in a very real way, Gemini, a very tangible way. Like, things are stagnant because maybe you're standing in the way because of your fixed ideas. But at the moment, I mean, it may have to do with something with your home life, but at the moment, though, things are okay. You see what I'm getting at? So you're standing at the crossroads, but you're being called, and perhaps you know something needs to change, but we don't know what that is yet, or if it will be revealed. Sometimes I don't get the solid facts. I just kind of get the impression of what's going on in the background. The Three of Spades. Yeah, you are stressed out and worried about this. It kind of confirms that you're at a crossroads. With the three here, you're looking at two different options, or maybe more. I don't pick up that it's about people. I think it's about options. I keep hearing options. Alternatives. What other cards can you present so that we can distinguish what's going on with Gemini? Very interesting. This is good news around travel. It's also denoting some kind of major chapter ending in your life. That could be why you're in this period of stress relief. Maybe you are traveling in the month of February, or you're gonna be able to. Like if you've had an idea about getting away or going someplace for a specific event, that looks like it's coming to fruition with this, and perhaps it's something you had to work on for a while. Therefore, it denotes like the closing of a chapter, like you bought the tickets in advance, or you were making plans last year, and finally it's getting to happen. That sort of thing. What other pieces of information can you tell us about Gemini's situation? Six of Diamonds. Options and opportunities presenting themselves to you in finance, abundance, and able to take financial responsibility. I see that closely tied up with that Ten of Clubs, honestly. I think the financial situation has improved. This is what I'm getting. And it definitely brought stress relief to your home living situation. You know, being able to pay the rent, pay the bills, and beyond. Because I think now you're able to move around. I was going to say move around the country. It's like an old airline commercial. You're now free to move around the country, something like that. But yeah, you could be using some of this excess, abundance to like I said, to fulfill some of these dreams, these bucket list items. I'm hearing bucket list items. I mean, it could be as simple as like going to Disneyland. It doesn't have to be exotic. Or it could be very exotic. Maybe you're going to Machu Picchu. Mount Everest. Really, it could be anything under the sun. Ten of Diamonds. Yes, you accomplished something here that has brought great prosperity and success to you in some manner. This doesn't mean you're a, extremely rich millionaire. I mean, I hope you are. I really do. I would wish that for anybody. It could have been just a bar that you set for yourself, and you reached that goal. See what I'm getting at? So you've wrapped that up, and again with the 10, it's talking about wrapping up a cycle, and that chapter being closed because you've reached what you set out to achieve, and maybe even more. So you have the abundance there, and you have the ability to travel. But over here, this is all very worrisome. It's about perhaps the travel is to distract yourself from this crossroads, this decision that has to be made. In the interim, bringing on some stress relief by enjoying yourself, going out and having fun, exploring the world, apparently. But it is very stressful. I don't want to, make that lighter than it is. I think it's something that's impacting you pretty significantly. Jack of Spades. This could be you, or another air sign. This is air sign energy. Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. The Jack of Spades energy, if you've been with me before, you know the picture I paint. If it's a person outside of you, it's someone who is very charming on the outside, but on the I'm going to say on the inside, but their motives are deceiving because they have ulterior motives. There's something going on where there's a little bit of mischievousness behind it. Now, if this isn't somebody else and this is you, oh, and by the way, it could be a younger person with the Jack. If this is you, it's about not trusting a situation. I see it tied in with this kind of dark, gloomy energy back here. It's a situation you're not trusting, therefore you're on the fence. A change needs to happen. There's something that's stuck somewhere in your life, and it's stressing you out about having to make the decision. And this could be, just the general distrust around that and just not feeling at ease. But I feel like your finances have taken a turn for the better. I'm not sure why that was important to mention that, but it came out here. There's been a turn of the tide with your finances, which is fantastic. Nine of Spades. So this is what's completed. This is probably behind you. It's some loss or disappointment. I'm not sure what it's pertaining to, honestly. I'll just lay it out how I see it here and how it's coming across. I'm not sure if it's a relationship. I'm not sure if it's a career. But something that has ended that was out of your control, it affected you deeply. And the stagnancy here might, with the Five of Clubs, I'm pointing, I'm not sure if you can see that, might be that you're not letting it go. I'm getting the impression you're not letting it go. And that's about the fixed idea, the fixed mindset, being stuck in one place. And yeah, it's stressing you out because you refuse to let it go. I mean, it could be a situation when you got burnt. I'm hearing you got burnt. You're jaded, right? You got burnt. You're not just hurt and feeling betrayed in some way, but you're also angry. And maybe that's the part where you're not letting it go by staying. Actually, I was going to say stagnant, but it's actually this card that talks about stagnancy. Wow. And you're only hurting yourself, apparently. But we all do that to ourselves, don't we? Okay, cards of advice. Here we go. Four of Clubs. This is not bad. It doesn't tell me a whole lot right off the bat, but this is about achieving balance and satisfaction in the home. Again, emphasis on the home. Honestly, this could go either way. I'm getting the impression it's more about some kind of relationship. Not necessarily romantic either, but something tells me it's not professional, it's not career. The emphasis is on stability in the home and the security that you have there. Whoa. Eight of Spades, Ace of Clubs. Eight of Spades. Ugh, if I could speak, eh? The Eight of Spades talks about trouble in the workplace. What did I just say? I think the work and career and professional pursuits that we're involved in are very much tied up with our standard of living and how secure we are in our home life. It's very well connected. Relationship as well, but it's a completely different level, right? Because it's more emotional. So there is some kind of stress around that because the Eight of Spades asks you to step away from that stress, to relieve it somehow. Because it's affecting you emotionally, mentally, physically in some manner that's detrimental to your health. But interesting, the Ace of Clubs, it's tricky, Ace and Eight. The Ace of Clubs is a new start in a direction where you're learning a new skill, acquiring new information, new talent. I kind of see that as a new start in your professional life, on a career path. Quite frankly, I'm almost seeing it as, this is the impression I'm getting, what did I say earlier? You were burnt, you're betrayed, and I think it was some kind of job situation that let you down. I mean, let you down is kind of too watery of a description. I think it was much heavier than that. There was dynamics involved in this that I can't even fathom. People involved, attitudes, things that were said. Anyway, it ended not so great. I don't think you got burnt financially. I think you actually came out shining with this and this. But you had to walk away from it. And now, yeah, you're free to travel because you're not tied to that job anymore. So right now you're per se not employed. I mean, you might be between positions. You might not. You may not be sure what you want to do because there's this card of making decisions, right? But I think the decision actually pivots more on letting it go. Letting go of the past. Whatever occurred, you need to let go of. Because you're still stressing out about it. And I see that Ace of Clubs inviting you to learn. I mean, if you're not going into a totally new career, like, from scratch, it's about acquiring perhaps new information in a different career direction that has to do with the same field you're in. Or researching different companies or employment situations. Sometimes, for example, we can be employed in the same position in different capacities, such as working for an insurance company or being an independent agent. The two things are related, but they're quite different in the way that they operate, right? Yeah, this is about some kind of emotional decision. So you're trying to figure out what you truly want with this Three of Hearts. Yeah, it's not people. It's not people. It's about a direction. But I do think you need to drop some kind of... I keep hearing anger and bitterness with the Five of Clubs. That keeps wanting to pop out. Pop out of my mouth. Let's just put it that way. And it's very important with the Ace of Hearts that you follow your heart, your intuition, where you want to go. This is going to lead you here, because we are looking at your advice. This is going to lead you here. You're really going to be following your heart and standing up for what you believe in. By relieving the stress from this work situation, whether that means physically leaving it or emotionally dropping, I'm going to use the word baggage around it, carrying around that resentment, and embracing this new start. Unfortunately, with the Three of Hearts, it just tells me you're kind of stuck on what do you do next. I don't know. There's no resolution for that on the table here. Let's go ahead and ask for more cards of advice for Gemini. Okay. Queen of Clubs. Here she is again. She came out all month of December. She's a fire sign energy, Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. She's also can be looked at as a mentor of sorts. It doesn't have to be female, just the queen has some power and authority, not as dominating as a king. She's generous and supportive. I see her as being in that role. Now, you could have that in your chart. You could be being encouraged to be generous and supportive of others, and that in itself is exercising your power. All kinds of cards wanted to flip out, but it was too much of a mess. Okay, here we go. We got another queen, and we have the Three of Clubs. So the Queen of Diamonds I often see as the Taurus card, but it could be any earth sign. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Nonetheless, it has a lot to do with practical monetary matters, abundance, finances, but it is paired up with the Three of Clubs, so there's some kind of struggle here. I don't think with this person, I'm not picking up that, but if you're at odds with somebody who's an earth sign, and it's over money, here it is. I'm just kind of picking up you have some kind of issue with money in the sense that you don't know where you're going again about making this decision. What do you really want to do? Because you know you have to take control of these financial matters. Eventually, I think at the moment, I think you're just going to enjoy the freedom you have, right? Any more cards of advice for Gemini before I close this? Queen of Hearts. Go. Do we have all the queens? No, we're missing one queen. The Queen of Hearts. So this is water sign energy. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Not necessarily seeing it as a person you could turn to, but you could. If you know a water sign who fits this description, kind of motherly, very nurturing. Maybe it literally is your mother. Even us older adults still rely upon our mother. It's perfectly okay. There's nothing wrong with it, especially for emotional support. It could be indicating a need for self-nurturing. I'm not quite sure because all those queens, whoa. I mean, this is the queen of emotional nurturing. This is the queen of financial matters, being very practical, and this is the queen of support and generosity. I mean, if you have people in your life that represent all of those queens, that's fantastic. I mean, it's just, that would be an amazing support system. But you did get this Three of Clubs out with the Queen of Diamonds. That's why I think there's some kind of, there's either a conflict with an earth sign or there's the conflict around finances. And I keep getting pulled back to you not making a decision about what to do next. I'm going to leave it there because I think I'm going to get too bogged down in definitive answers. I can't demand that of the cards. It just doesn't work that way. Sometimes it's very, very crystal clear which way it's headed. But if this reading resonated with you, take it as it fits. If it doesn't, by all means, do not make it fit. Come back and join me for the next one. If you'd like to see when that next video comes out, go ahead and hit subscribe notifications. And if you're interested in making a donation to my tip jar, it is found at the bottom of the description box. It's called Buy Me a Coffee, and it has a link. You just paste it into your browser and it shoots you right over there. It's really simple. Okay? Thank you for listening, and I will see you again soon, Gemini.